A lot of you are like, Steven, what is a flat tire shuffle? I think you just made that up, or more importantly, where did it come from and why is it important? How do they use it in popular music? A flat tire shuffle is a simple variation of a shuffle groove that we also see in different styles of music that it's adjusted to. I can point out an indie rock, popular rock, I can point out, Elvis Presley, Beatles, and I will, how they used this very simple tool to really bring a cool flair to a simple shuffle groove. Some people hear shuffle and they think, oh, that's just for the blues, that's just for jazz. It is not at all. You see the shuffle across all genres, pop, rock, world rhythms. It doesn't matter. You will find the shuffle there. Early on in my career, I had a teacher tell me you can tell the quality of a drummer by the quality of their shuffle. So how is a flat tire shuffle different than a regular shuffle? A regular shuffle is this. It's a chat, chit-chat, 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 right? It's that shuffled feel. With a flat tire shuffle, we now take that and we make the equivalent of what I would call a boom chick beat. You see that in punk rock, or you see that in, Cajun music. Now we're gonna take it and the reason it's called a flat tire shuffle, it kind of feels like the music has a flat tire. You can hear other instruments playing this too. Popularly, sometimes the piano will be playing a type of a flat tire shuffled rhythm, but is an accent on the upbeat of it, and there's a million variations, and I'm going to demonstrate those for you from popular songs, give you the songs to go listen to. But here's a basic flat tire shuffle. So a basic flat tire shuffle, let's cover that first before we go into all of these different variations, songs that you can hear it in. We're going to shuffle the right hand. And then we're going to play accents on the upbeats, swung obviously. And the most basic version, you would play the kick drum just on all four. And now you're like, Steven, this is never used in popular music. Let's start with Elvis Presley. I forgot to remember to forget. It's the exact version we just learned. We can throw it way back to the 1950s, T-Bone Walker, Tell Me What's the Reason. Another blues is Don't Want No Woman by Bobby Blue Bland, has that same groove. Let's bring it forward a little bit. Booker T and the MGs doing our thing. They've got a different variation where the hi-hat is playing that flat tire feel. That's at the beginning. Later on in the song, they build it to this. 3, 4. And some of you are like, Steven, it still has that 2 and 4. Yes, but it is a variation of a flat tire. How about the Beatles' Old Brown Shoe? Back at the Chicken Shack with Jimmy Smith is a great variation of this. Jazz ride cymbal here. We got my favorite variations coming up. Jazz ride cymbal pattern here, upbeats on the hi-hat, and then we have a 1. Let's go to indie rock. We've got the Yeah Yeah Yeahs with Mystery. They're going to take the whole thing to the snare drum. Again, it's very deceptive, but it is still a flat tire shuffle. Before we get to my favorite variation, maybe like, Steven, how did this spread? Where did it come from? I was talking to my good buddy Johnny Stanton, he's a bass player, and this is what we used to do. We were on tour together for 1.5 years recently, and we would sit up and we would just trade songs and stories and try to figure out where things, we were very interested in the history of things, especially the blues. And he said, look, they think that this probably just went up the Mississippi, right? It originated in kind of New Orleans area, it came up the Mississippi through the Mississippi Delta, it hit Kansas City there, and then on up to Chicago, whatever. But right, there's no way to tell. That does make sense though, because the Mississippi, I know we don't think of it now, but the way they used to proliferate information was along highways and interstates and how things traveled. And the Mississippi here in the United States was a huge way for that, especially port cities. So that's why you find brass bands in Oklahoma, and you find brass bands in New Orleans, and you find brass bands in Kansas City and Chicago. We played Kansas City last year, and right before I set, I was outside and I was like, is that a sousaphone? Am I hearing a sousaphone? Like, we're a Southern rock band, right? I go next door, there's this killer brass band playing. I wound up sitting and listening to it for 45 minutes. And that's in Kansas City. I'm like, how did this get here? I'm like, oh yeah, the Mississippi River. That's how things used to spread, right? So that's how I think this spread. My favorite variation of this is going to be Inside the Pocket of a Clown with Dwight Yoakam. We have the jazz ride cymbal pattern here, which gives it a very slow feel and a typical flat tire shuffle in the snare drum. So on the hi-hat, so it's like inside the pocket of... If you're needing some help with your drumming, specifically with where you are in your drumming, I would love to do that. I've got an online drum school. We've been open for almost 14 years now. Woo, birthday's right around the corner, and I would love to help you. We've had tens of thousands of students go through the program every day, students like you and me trying to get better at the drums, be the best version of themselves. I want to help you where you are. I don't want to help you in a general way. I want to help you in a very specific way. We have weekly calls that I get on and I do Q&As with everybody. I do student reviews for people. I do personalized lesson plans. We have guest artists, whatever I can do to help you succeed at the drums. The link's below.